Step outside in any Indian city and you'll see it. A pile of garbage dumped on the roadside. Candy and chips wrappers flying out of cars. A traffic jam caused by one driver who thought the rules didn't apply to him. Taps left open in public parks. Horns blaring like it's a competition. We laugh it off as, that's just India. But the world calls it a mess. These little shortcuts aren't just embarrassing. They are heating our cities, flooding our streets, and pushing us deeper into the climate crisis. Think about it. Every bit of waste we toss, every signal we break, every tree we cut adds up. Alone it feels small, but together, multiplied by 1.4 billion, it's a ticking bomb. That is the real story of our civic sense, or the lack of it. But let's pause for a second. What do we really mean by civic sense? At its core, it's simple. Being a good member of society. It's knowing that your choices don't stop with just you. They ripple out into public spaces, into other people's lives, and into the environment we all share. It's putting the we before the I. I'm your host Lavanya, and in this episode of The Climate Brief, we are asking a simple question. What if becoming a climate champion in India isn't just about solar panels or electric cars? What if it starts with something far more basic? Civic sense. Let's start with the most visible part of India's civic problem, waste. You've seen it, plastic bottles tossed into drains, food leftovers dumped in plastic bags, the chips packet thrown on the road instead of in the dustbin. It feels small in the moment, just a wrapper here, a banana peel there. But these shortcuts, this casual laziness, a moment of convenience, builds a chain reaction. Here's how it works. When we don't segregate, everything gets mixed. Food scraps, plastic, diapers, batteries, that cocktail ends up in giant landfills. And inside these landfills, the organic waste decomposes without oxygen. That's what produces methane, a greenhouse gas 82 times more powerful than carbon dioxide over 20 years. Take Delhi's Ghazipur landfill. Locals call it the trash mountain. It's 65 meters high. It's just 8 meters shorter than the Qutub Minar. Inside the garbage dump, the heat reaches 60 to 70 degrees Celsius in summers. That's hot enough for methane gas to ignite spontaneously. And when it does, the fire can burn for days, filling all the nearby neighborhoods with toxic smoke. 1 week at Ghazipur was measured at 156 tons of methane per hour, equal to the emissions of 24 million cars running at once. So here's some food for thought. We think throwing away a chutney box or mixing food scraps with plastic saves us a bit of effort. But what it really costs us is methane for the atmosphere, a climate bomb that we are all paying for. But it doesn't stop there. Plastic and trash tossed on streets end up clogging drains and rivers. Remember the 2005 Mumbai floods? More than 1,000 people died when record rain hit the city, when drains were blocked by plastic and the Mithi River was choked with garbage. The water had nowhere to go, so it came into people's homes. And today, the same story repeats in Bengaluru. The city's stormwater drains were originally designed to handle 40 to 70 millimeters of rain per hour. Right now, many of them are clogged with silt and plastic. Some just disappear under buildings. In places, what was once a 60-meter wide channel is now barely 28. This problem persists in the mountains as well, and we've covered that in great detail in one of our previous videos. Do check that video out too. So that one moment of convenience, not walking all the way to the bin, not separating waste thoroughly, it spirals into something much bigger. A flood in your neighborhood, a fire choking your lungs, a planet heating faster than ever. All sights you've seen if you've ever lived in India. Vehicles coming on the wrong side of the road, people cutting lanes or jumping signals, every horn competing to be the loudest voice in the chaos. At first glance, these feel like minor lapses, a shortcut here, a few seconds saved there. But what do we really gain? 2 seconds? And what do we lose? Far more than we realize. When one person cuts the lane, it slows the entire stretch of traffic. Multiply that by hundreds of drivers and you get gridlock, a sight that is getting more and more common in India every day. And more congestion means more emissions. In Delhi, vehicles already contribute to up to 40% of the city's air pollution. And it's not just Delhi. Mumbai, 30.5%, Bengaluru, 39%, Kolkata, 25%. Every metro tells the same story. And then there's the noise. Moradabad was once crowned the second most noise-polluted city in the world, hitting an ear-splitting 114 decibels. Kolkata and Asansol were not much behind, with both cities clocking in at 89 decibels. For context, the World Health Organization says anything above 53 decibels from vehicles is unsafe for long-term health. So that endless honking, it raises stress hormones, spikes blood pressure, even increases risks of heart disease and hearing loss. And breaking traffic rules is killing us in more obvious ways as well. In 2023, more than 172,000 people were killed in road accidents in India. That's about 474 lives lost every single day, 18 per hour or 1 every 3 minutes. Many of these deaths come from the very habits we think are harmless. Wrong side driving, reckless overtaking, skipping signals. We save 2 seconds, but we risk thousands of lives. Not every civic failure looks dramatic. Some are small, quiet, almost invisible, but they add up fast. Take trees. One illegal cut for a driveway or a billboard might seem harmless, but what we lose is priceless. Natural shade that keeps cities cooler, roots that hold soil together and soak up rain. Cut enough of them and suddenly your city feels like an oven and floods faster every monsoon. And the scale is staggering. Between 2001 and 2023, India lost 2.3 million hectares of tree cover, releasing over 1.2 gigatons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. We often leave corridor fans running or office lights glowing long after hours. It feels like nothing. But in India, most of our power still comes from coal. Every wasted kilowatt means more emissions, more warming, more toxic air. That same neglect shows up in water too. Taps left open, tanks overflowing in housing societies, sprinklers flooding lawns at noon. India has already lost 450 cubic kilometers of groundwater in just 2 decades. That is 37 times the capacity of our biggest reservoir. Bangalore has lost nearly 80% of its water bodies in the last 4 decades. What used to be natural flood protection is now glass towers and concrete roads. So when the monsoon comes, water doesn't drain away. It crashes into IT parks and apartment basements. Every shortcut we take, tossing a wrapper, cutting a lane, leaving a tap running, it feels tiny in the moment. It's just a small choice that saves a minute, maybe a few steps, but multiplied by 1.4 billion. These shortcuts turn into garbage mountains, traffic chaos, drained aquifers, and overheated cities. The truth is, India does need policies and technology to address the ecological crisis it faces. But what it also needs is a civic culture that sees small acts as part of a bigger whole, that understands that our acts have an impact beyond us, that puts the we before the I. The good news, civic sense is contagious. Do the right thing even when nobody's watching and others notice. That is how norms shift because it all starts with us. I'm Lavanya and this is The Climate Brief. If this episode made you think differently about your own everyday choices, hit subscribe and join us for more stories where climate meets real life.